Okay, I'm going to teach you a little bit about hearing rhythms today in meters, and what we're going to work on is called dictation. Dictation has to do with hearing something and being able to notate it without actually seeing any notation to begin with. So if you're given a blank paper with measures written on it, like here, so we'll look at number 1 first. Let's number these to make it a little bit clearer what we're doing. Okay. So if we look at number 1 here, I'm showing us that we're in 4/4, that's our meter, and I have 4 blank measures. You'll notice something at the very end of this. I have 2 bar lines. This is called a double bar. You'll see this at the end of a piece. So I'm saying that once you get to the end of this, this is the absolute final measure of the whole thing. So all the rest of these are just single bar lines, and that just shows that you have the end of a measure but not the end of a piece. So if we do dictation, that means that we're going to hear a rhythm that fits into 4 measures of 4/4, and we need to notate it. This is one specific type of dictation called rhythmic dictation because we won't be writing any pitches but only rhythms. Okay, so just looking at number 1, I'm going to go ahead and perform a rhythm that fits into 4/4, and then I'm going to show you how you can think about dictating something like this. First of all, I will make sure that I always give you a couple of measures of the beat first so that you know what the beat sounds like. Remember that the beat is always steady and consistent, so once you start hearing the beat, you can go ahead and actually tap the beat yourself. So I recommend tapping the beats like on your leg or your arm or something where you can feel yourself tapping but also feel what the tap feels like. The more you can feel the beat in your body, the easier it's going to be to hear how the rhythm fits into the meter. And you may want to even think about the fact that this is a quadruple meter, so you have 4 beats in every measure. So as you tap, you might want to actually count on your fingers as well. So something like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, something like that, so that you can keep track of where you are in the measure. It's easy to get lost sometimes depending on what kind of rhythms you're hearing. Okay, so with that in mind, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to perform this first rhythm for you, and you can get some paper out while I'm doing this and try to see if you can write down the rhythm at the same time. But I'm going to work through it also and kind of show you some ways to think about this. So go ahead and make sure you're tapping. And I'm going to perform it 4 times in total. This is how I'll do it on your assignment as well. So you will hear the rhythm 4 times if we do something like this on an exam. Actually, on your assignment, you'll be able to listen to it as many times as you need to because you have the recording. So I forgot about that. When I'm in class, I usually just do it 4 times, but you get a little bit of an advantage in that you can listen to it multiple times. But for today, I'll just do it 4 times in this video to kind of show you how that works. So you want to think through it as you go. And the important thing to know about dictation is ultimately you want the notation to be correct, but you can make any marks that you need to on the paper as you go to help you remember what you heard. It doesn't necessarily need to be the correct answer the first time. You can make notes to yourself and little markings, and anything that helps you remember is a good thing. Everyone does these a little bit differently because everybody hears a little bit differently. So it's totally fine if you do your own thing here, and I would never grade anything based on the notes you make in the margins as long as you get the correct rhythm ultimately. Okay, so just counting off 2 measures of 4/4. Remember from the meter that we have 4 beats in a measure and the quarter note gets the beat. Okay, so go ahead and start counting with me when you feel comfortable. I'll count off 2 measures of 4 and then I will go ahead and perform the 4 measures of this rhythm. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ta, 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 ta. Okay, now that you know what it sounds like, let me go ahead and do it a second time, and then I'll start showing you some ways to notate. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ta, 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 ta. Okay, so the way I might first start thinking about this is on what beats did I have notes sounding? So I definitely heard, let's just make a little mark where every beat is up here. That might help me. This is called a rhythmic grid. Kind of helps you make sense of what's happening within each measure. So every beat has a little mark there. There are lots of ways to do a rhythmic grid, but this is a really basic one. So I definitely heard something on this beat. I remember that. I don't remember what happened in the middle. I'm not exactly sure what happened at the end either. Okay, so I'm pretty sure that I heard something on beats 1, 2, and 3 in the first measure, but I'm not sure what happened in the rest of it. So I'm going to go ahead and listen a third time and see if I can, first of all, check my work. Did I hear something on each beat? And then what happened at the end? And sometimes it's actually easier to work backwards because you just heard this measure at the very end. So sometimes I actually am able to get this measure before I can get the others, and that's also totally fine. So let's hear it one more time. And I'm going to go ahead and move my pencil along the grid as I go this time. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ta, 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 ta. Okay, the last measure for sure I heard something. Ta, ta. I heard this one and this one both had something on them. So if I was going to notate this in 4/4, that means each of these marks is a quarter note, right? That would represent my beat. So if I have something that lasts for 2 quarter notes here and something that lasts for 2 quarter notes here, that means I'm going to have 2 half notes. Like that. And if my first measure I have something on the first 2 beats, that means these are both quarter notes. But this one isn't a quarter note because it lasts longer. This one lasts for 2 beats, so that's going to be a half note. Okay? On my fourth hearing, I'm going to see if I can make X's above the grid on these and then see if I can notate it from there. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ta, 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 ta. So I heard here I heard a note that didn't land on a beat. It landed in between the beat. Okay. And I heard a couple longer notes in there too. So this would be represented with a quarter note, and then this note that happened in between the beats would be represented by an eighth note. Now what I want to do at the end, this is dirt. That is not a dot. Okay. What I'm going to do at the end is perform my own rhythm and make sure that it makes sense and sounds like what I heard to begin with. Sorry, that's a little bit glary. Maybe that helps a bit. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and ignore what I had to begin with and just perform my own rhythm and see if that sounds like what I had before. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ta, 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 ta. Yes, that sounds the same. So I did this one correctly. And then if I went and checked, you would see that the rhythm I performed that I wrote down to make sure I did it right looks just like this. Of course, I'm cheating because I wrote the rhythm myself, but this is the way you want to go about it. These are the types of things you can do. So when I go to number 2 and I see that I'm in 3/4, that means that I'm going to have 3 beats in my measure and the quarter note gets the beat. So I'm going to go ahead and make this grid to begin with before I even get started, and then I can use this to work. So I have 3 beats in every measure. Okay? Just for the sake of time, I'm going to go ahead and only perform this one twice, and I'm going to do this one a little bit faster, show you how we go since I explained some of the things before. You can go ahead and practice it on your own too. If you want to hear it more times, you can just rewind the video a bit and get it again, and that way you can practice on your own. But I'll go ahead and do it just twice. So 2 measures of 3/4 before I go ahead and start. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Ta 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 ta. Okay, first thing, definitely heard the last measure on each one of those beats, so I'm going to get that down. Notice I didn't actually write any notes yet, but I'm writing down something to remind me what I heard, because I might forget that later. I tend to be kind of forgetful, especially when there's a lot of music playing. Another thing I heard, let's say I don't know how to notate the first 2 measures yet, but I heard that they were the same. I heard that this measure and this measure equaled each other. So as soon as I hear one of them, I know now that I can just go ahead and notate the second one the same way. Okay, let's go ahead and do the second, the last hearing of this. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Ta 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 ta. Here I heard faster notes at the beginning and then notes on the beat. So if I was going to go ahead and notate this, it would be like this. 2/8 notes, because there's 2 notes within this beat. Then quarter notes. This one is the same. That's sloppy. Okay, if I were to perform this again, it would sound the same as what I just did. Okay, let's do one more. In 2/4, this means that there are 2 beats in every measure and the quarter note gets the beat. So even though this is still 4 measures, it might not take as long to do because there aren't as many beats total. So if I take about the same tempo, my beats go by at the same rate, then it's going to be a little bit shorter, which is nice. I'll go ahead and do this one twice as well. Feel free to rewind and listen as many times as you want if you're working along. Okay. 2 measures before I start. 1, 2, 1, 2. Ta 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 ta. Okay. These measures were the same. That's cool. That helps so much because you don't have to hear as many things. Okay, let's hear the second time. 1, 2, 1, 2. Ta, 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 ta. Here I heard 2 notes within this beat as well. So I had 2 quarters, here 2/8 notes, because that's the only way you can get that within that 2 notes within this beat, and then one like that. So this is, oh, I forgot to write this down. Half notes, because that's how long, that's the duration that will fit within one measure here. So I heard a note that lasted for the whole measure, and because we have 2 quarter notes worth of beat in each measure, that means that we have a half note that'll last the whole thing. Okay, so this is kind of how you do dictation. All of your rhythmic dictations that you have for your first ear training assignment are going to be similar to this. They'll all be in simple meter, and they will all have a quarter note getting the beat. So you'll see 2/4, 3/4, or 4/4. Those are the only ones that I'll give you. And I will only give you the durations, the rhythms that are on this page. So you will see eighth notes, you will see quarter notes, and you will see half notes, but you won't see anything other than that. So they'll start off pretty simple like this, pretty basic, and so hopefully this will be okay. And of course we're only going to do simple meters because we haven't talked about compound meter yet, so that would be kind of cruel, wouldn't it? On the ear training assignment, what you'll see is a series of rhythms. I will give you a sound file, and you can listen to the rhythm as many times as you want, and then what you'll do is you will choose the correct rhythm. You'll just click on the rhythm that you see that's correct. So it's going to be like a multiple choice. So you don't actually have to notate them yourself. But what I would recommend is as you listen to the rhythms, I would go ahead and try to notate them on your own. And that way you can look at your own notation and compare that with the options that you have. That'll help you get the answer correct, but it will also help you just do a better job and learn dictation better too. So I recommend doing that. It might take, I don't know, it shouldn't take too long, but hopefully it'll help you learn how to do this, as this will be an important skill going forward. So go ahead and you are now ready to try out that assignment that will be posted to Blackboard, and you can go ahead and give that a shot. All right, as always, let me know if you need anything, and otherwise I will talk to you all soon.